Hey everyone, welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Tunes. Sorry that I'm a minute late there, but I had what I thought was a brief technical difficulty, but it fixed itself. I hope that's a sign of the kind of week I'm going to have, because if so, I'm going to have an awesome week. Better than this week, because this week was just really dark. We lost a lot of really awesome people. Yeah, and yeah, it was a rough week. Yeah, lots of folks died, but we got Wakanda forever, and we'll talk a little bit about that later, because right now I just kind of want to get into the stream and talk with you guys and catching up with everybody else and seeing how everything's going. Oh, looks like Matt's. You know, I never did learn how to pronounce your name, Matt. Is it Sites or Seats? Like seats, like seats at a concert. My mind's going straight to music here. I can already tell that my what's going on here? Oh, hey, look at that. I'm echoing because I also had the stream live on another window. I'm back now, though. Hey, and I've got coffee. I had coffee. Shit, I don't have coffee. Hold on. "30 seconds into the stream and I've already got a 4-letter word in the books. That's great news. I always love that. Wouldn't be me otherwise. So, yay. So lots of stuff happening here, like I said. Got to see Wakanda Forever. It's really good. And I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail without spoiling anything in a few minutes here. But before anything else goes, I want to make sure that I say hi to everybody who's in the stream. Let me just widen this window here, this chat window, so that I can see who all is here. Right out the gate, wow, man, there's been some chat going on before. I saw earlier that like Brandy Woods and David Lynchen were in the house just having a bit of a chat. I guess they were racing to see who would leave the first comment. Looks like David won. Congratulations, David. You win my undying respect. And I'm holding this from the wrong side to send the message that I want to send, which is, yay. That should be the tagline, right? Saturday Morning Toy Tunes. Dope way to start the day. It kind of sends the wrong message, though. Because I don't get high anymore. I gave that up ages ago, and I was never, ever too fond of it. Last time I did it was when I injured my neck, and that was just for pain relief. Didn't really work. I could still feel the pain. I just didn't care. So maybe it worked in a weird sense. So anyway, who else is here? Steve Nara is here. Steve, you're so wrong. The witch is amazing. How does it feel to be so wrong? Some guy is here. Terry and a fresh cup of coffee. Do you have a fresh cup of coffee? I want you to have a fresh cup of coffee. That's right. That's right. Everybody should have a fresh cup of coffee. I have two. Legitimately, 2 fresh cups of coffee. There's another one over there, just waiting in the wings for me to run out of this one, because it's a small mug, you might have noticed. I'm terrible. What is this, an 8-ounce mug? Probably an 8-ounce mug. So who else is here? Figure Posing Channel is, he's offering up excuses for not hitting snooze because it's 3:30 in the afternoon there. Dude, there's never a bad time for hitting the snooze button. If you're having a rough day, you're tired, just hit that snooze button. It's a metaphorical snooze button, sure, but I think that it's really something that everybody should bring into their lives. Bring into your life that metaphorical snooze button, everybody. It's great for the soul. It's definitely great for your peace of mind. Steve Nara, of course, is here. Still wrong about the witch. Yeah, he doesn't... Oh, yeah, I should probably show off my donut collection. I have here today my usual blueberry cake donut. And as almost always, I've got a sourdough, old-fashioned sourdough donut. And look at this! What is this insanity? It's a cherry cheese tart. I saw it there. Brandy was brought up to the fact that Brett, in a message to me earlier, that the cherry cheese tarts are situated right next to the cream-filled Long Johns. Tarts and cream-filled Long Johns. This stream just went PG-13. Yeah! Alright, cool. So, I'm laughing at myself. It's true. It's come to that. It really has. So, where were we here? You're doing it wrong. You're so doing it wrong. If nothing happened, then you're clearly doing it wrong. Sorry, I'm distracted by framing because I am a photographer, and I feel like I was a little too low in the frame. So let me pause to fix that. Wow, Anthony's really busy in the chats. Brandy Woods, look at this. The conversation is all about snooze buttons and donuts. I can't think of a better conversation to have on a Saturday. This is amazing. This is amazing. Pierre's here from Florida. How's it going down there, Pierre? We've got snow here. Here, look. I just took this photo today. That's outside. That's by my driveway. So yeah, we got a little bit of snow here in St. Louis. So, yeah. That's my neighbor's holly bush, by the way. It's abutted right up next to my property, so I get to enjoy it as well. Hi to Michelle and Jay if you're watching. If you are watching, if you've ever watched, you've never commented, so I'm guessing you're just the lurker variety, and that's just totally fine. I've been a lurker myself a time or two. I don't spend a lot of time going to other people's channels. The reasons why are complex. A lot of them have to do with work and NDAs and stuff like that, and I just, yeah. But I have popped in on occasion. Desmond Hassing is here. That's good news because it's great because more often than not, he has an opinion about something that contradicts my own, and he illustrates the greatest ways to actually voice that opinion without sounding like an asshole. So thank you, Desmond. You're real credit to Geekdom, and I'm glad to have you on board. Holly West is also here. Hey, Holly West. Did you arrive back home safe and sound? Oh, you know what? She's talking to Brandy Woods, who was here at my house last week for a few days, celebrating her birthday, eating a lot of smash burgers, and joining me on the live stream, which brings me to my first regret. I have regrets this week. One regret is that I had to interrupt my first listen to the Black Panther Wakanda Forever soundtrack, the music from and inspired by the film, not the awesome score by Ludwig Göransson, which probably is amazing. I haven't had the time to listen to it because the other soundtrack took priority. And it is great. I mean, I'm not going to say that there was dancing. So glad that I didn't actually hit the live button prematurely. You guys might have been more entertained than you typically are. I'm just going to get a port installed so I can just mainline this stuff straight into my veins. That would be great. The scientists, they talk a lot about Gen Z and Gen Y or whatever the hell the generations are called, the millennials, and how they are legitimately not the slackers that they were portrayed to be, and that they are legitimately going to save the world. I hope so. They can start by inventing a way to mainline caffeine into my system. Kumar is here. Hello, Kumar. Good to hear from you. I am happy. I am oddly happy, despite some goings on that I can't talk about. But we'll see. We'll see how soon that I can talk about them. Yeah. Some guy. I think I already said something about some guy, right? Oh, TK421, my most recent subscription on YouTube. TK421 recently posted a really excellent room tour of his Hot Toys collection that has inspired me to actually lay groundwork for doing my own. And I am doing that already, TK421. So yeah, count on seeing something soon. I know that you said something in your comments about wanting to see something like that from me. Oh my God. All right, I'll get to that here in a minute. As usual, the comments are making huge jumps. Look who's with us. Bitter Asian Dude Incorporated, otherwise known as Paul Sun-Hyun Lee, otherwise known as Appa, otherwise known as Captain Carson Teva from The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. So pleased to have you here, sir. Thanks for tuning in bright and early on a Saturday morning to join me here to talk about geek stuff. If I ever get to it, if I ever get past the comments, because God, there's a lot of comments here. I'm really excited about that. It's good to see everybody. If you haven't been to Bitter Asian Dude's channel, then you should go, because he is the other bookend for the weekends. Starting here on Saturday mornings with Saturday Morning Toy Tunes, you can begin your weekend, and you can wrap your weekends up in style on Sunday nights on his show, Funboxing Sundays, in which he showcases some of the latest and greatest additions to his increasingly massive 6-scale collection. And he does it with a drinking game. You don't have to drink booze. I don't anymore. I cut booze out of my life about a month ago, and I'm really feeling pretty good about it. That's a pretty big announcement. I don't think I'd shared that publicly before. Thanks for joining us, Paul. Yeah, really glad to see you in the chats. Looks like everybody else is as well. Looks like Insane One can't stick around. That's too bad, because I really like that guy. He cracks me up. David Lynch and his 3 cups of coffee. That's just calm down. Calm down. 2's enough. It's like what they said in Christ, what's that show? Ted Lasso. When Coach Beard was talking to the 3 soccer fans, the 3 football fans, sorry, European friends, about Las Vegas. 1 night is fine. 2 is perfect. 3 is too many. I feel the same thing is true for coffee. Mahmoud likes my coffee. Does that mean you like my coffee mug? It's cool. It's actually the least of my coffee mugs, but it's kind of cool because it is from a place called Spill the Beans. If you guys are ever in San Diego for San Diego Comic-Con, I recommend going to Spill the Beans. They have the finest breakfast sandwich under the sun. Man, it blew my mind when Rob Kocher, one of the guys from Sideshow, mentioned it to me. I didn't believe him, but apparently what Rob did, he does con in style. He wakes up early in the morning and just walks San Diego, and he just walks past all these restaurants, and when his nose is stimulated by a restaurant he walks past, he peeks his head in, checks out the menu, and makes a mental note, and goes back to it later to have a meal. And because of his diligence, he led me to my new favorite breakfast sandwich. One of these days I'll actually remember what it's called so I can tell you which one to get. Oh, their OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars. Hey, dude. And Hugo Ramirez is here as well. Hello, Hugo. Keith Lee is here. I just saw Wakanda Forever yesterday with Keith Lee and his lovely wife, Allie. And that was a good time. It was good to see you. I wish I could have stuck around more. I was really nervous about Piper. Turns out she's okay. She's back to normal. She's eating on a normal schedule. There was no messes waiting for me when I got back, so it was all a false alarm. Should have done lunch. Damn it. There'll have to be another time. Oh, God. He's doing morning smoothies. Oh, and Allie's here. Speaking of Allie. Hey, Allie. Yeah, wow. You guys are both watching. That's great. I like that. 2 people in the same household watching on... Oh, Keith, you retracted a message. Or did somebody's child get a hold of their... Last week, I won't say any names, but we had a monitor Pierre, whose kid got a hold of his phone and started randomly deleting comments. So... whoa, Fat Batman's collecting nightmare. Good morning, Terry. How's it going, man? Have I seen you here on the chats before? Your name doesn't ring a bell. If so, then welcome. Hope you enjoy yourself and hope you come back at a later time because it is a dope way to start the day on a Saturday, especially when there's snow. I'm gonna bring that up again for those just joining us. This was taken in my backyard today, so winter isn't coming, my friends. Winter is here. Kind of. It is the Midwest. That could change any minute now. And probably will. I'll be out sunning myself in the backyard. In a Speedo. Not really. Much like Chandler Bing, I don't own a Speedo. Some guys in Florida. Yeah, I bet you're tired of these damn storms. Get used to it, my friend. Global warming is real. It sucks. Freaking sucks. And they're actually in a conference right now. I believe that's still going on, which they're supposed to be doing something about it, and they're probably not going to. But that's as deep into politics as I like to get on this channel. We know that's not true. Oh, God. Hashtag She-Hulk rant. Hashtag toxic masculinity. Hashtag toxic fandom. Some of my favorite topics right there. I actually haven't monitored the likes and dislikes for that stream, but the last time I checked, it was like 9 out of 10 people liked the stream. The other 1 out of 10 did not, so I'm just assuming that those people took exception to me talking up She-Hulk. Which deserves nothing but praise. Nothing but accolades. Allison Lee, what is my favorite coffee? Hang on. Boom! This guy right here. Piper's Coffee Lab, and it is the Java something. What is it? The Java Frinza Estate. It has notes of a dark fruit, a baker's chocolate, and molasses. It's yummy. That's not what I'm drinking right now. I'm drinking something from Trader Joe's because I like to save the good stuff for special occasions. Yeah, like when I really need to perk up. How's the music? Can you hear it? Do I need to turn it up? Probably need to turn it up. When I think that it's okay, I just need it. My friend Jameson used to always say, when you think you've had enough, have one more. He was talking about bong hits, but that was in college. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of people seem to like Death Wish coffee. Yeah, there's a guy at Sideshow who heads up the PR department who is really into Death Wish coffee. In fact, for ages, he was posting so much to his social media about Death Wish coffee that I almost tried it. Almost. I have low sales resistance. What can I say? Caffeine pills, eh? No, probably not, dude. For me, it's about the experience. I do pour over here. And yeah, for me, it's about the zen of it all. Just the actual preparation, the grinding of the measuring of the water. It's chemistry for me. I perfectly measure the same pour of water every time, the same pour of beans into the grinder. I grind it at the same fineness, coarseness, whatever. And I just slow pour it over the top. And it's just very much a relaxing, focusing experience. It just centers me and just is a dope way to start the day. I'm sensing a theme. Thanks, Brandy Woods. I don't think my collection is that impressive. Brandy got to visit here last week. Speaking of which, I was bringing up my first regret, and I'll do that right now. And to do that, I need to paste something here. I had an opportunity last week when Brandy was visiting, when she was on the live stream, to actually speak with her about her art, about the origins of her artistic endeavors, and what she does with her art today. And I completely missed that opportunity. I was a little bit maybe nervous about having somebody on the show for the first time, a little bit distractible. Hey, ADHD, way to strike again. And yeah, I failed. I absolutely failed to bring up my friend's art and helped her to promote her site. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and drop that in the chats right now. I think it's a little bit too big of a link though. So if there's another way that I can do this? Oh, that's searching for emojis. I'm so good at technology. There we go. Let's go ahead and post this. That, my friends, is Brandy Woods. Yeah. Yeah, Brandy Woods' art page. Go check it out because she's really, really talented. She's done some drawings of me, unsolicited, that have been a lot of fun. Did I bring up? I did. She, while she was here, she, let's see if I can get this to come up here. I'm not even sure what the hell's going on. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I know what it is. Yeah. I'm gonna move that up. There we go. The other day we were walking out of a Best Buy. I only had one controller for my Xbox. Brandy wanted to play Gauntlet with me, and she insisted that I go buy another controller, which she was right to do so. I really, really did need one. So we went to Best Buy, bought this amazing controller. What's the name of it? What was the name of the color palette? It was like Moon something. It's kind of iridescent and waxes between silver and gold. Very, very cool. I'll grab it here in a second and show you. But on the way out, I saw a motorcycle, and as we were walking to the car, and I was like, ooh, hey, beautiful, what's your name? And it cracked her up considerably, and she drew this and sent it to me, which I thought was really, really fun. Even colored it, which is, that's a first. That's a first. Nice quick sketch, and nice quick color job. I think that she's really drawn me in a really flattering light, which she has a tendency to do. That's probably, I don't think that has any weight at all on my judgment of her artistic skills. Not at all. I'm sure I'm being totally unbiased there, but yeah. Go on, check out her website, and you'll be treated to even more stuff like that, and different things as well, because she's not just limited to, yeah, those cartoon sketches like what we have here. She does some really great portrait work, and she's done some really great book covers. She's illustrated children's books. She also knits. I've got one of her scarves on my bed right now. It's she left it behind. Let's see, where am I? Oh, I skipped something. Hang on, let me slide back here, and I'm sure that I skipped something here. There was a super chat from Figure Posing Channel, and it seems to have disappeared. There it is. There it is. Yeah, if I can get it to come up. There we go. Yeah. Technology. Yay. For continued music and for changing my life from now and introducing the snooze button. So happy to help with that. I'm so happy to be the devil on your shoulder. Yeah. It's so good. Oh. We got another new Count Von Strange the Fourth. That is a great, great, great name. All is well here, my friend. All is well here. Welcome to the show. If this is your first time, if it isn't your first time and I've just forgotten, blame my brain. Don't blame me. Holly West, super chat. Thanks for what you do. That Boba Fett duo figure posing was a super helpful. Do you like that set? It's cool, right? I like it a lot. I got another one here. Look at this. Oh, finally arrived. I know that I'm late to the party on this one, and I apologize without making apologies. Is that possible? Can you do that? If so, then I'm doing it. But yeah, this is of course Boba Fett from The Mandalorian. This came with this came with the Boba Fett on throne figure set, and it's amazing. I'm just opened it up. I couldn't wait until the party started here, so I just opened it up and went with it. Steve Nara doesn't like coffee. How are you even still alive? It's so weird. Doesn't like coffee, doesn't like the witch. I'm beginning to doubt your character. Just kidding. You like ice cream and tiramisu. That makes you all right in my book. I do like tiramisu. You know, Trader Joe's has an awesome frozen tiramisu. It'll do in a pinch. It's not the best I've had, but it'll do. God, I am losing control of the chats. I'm losing track of the chats. So let me just scroll down here. Fat Batman's collecting nightmare is setting everybody up with some life goals. Matthew Seats gave up coffee. Missed opportunity. Very much a missed opportunity. Yeah. Dude, that's okay, man. You got a lot going on. For those of you who don't know, I was mentioning Polly's some Funboxing Sundays. He's been a bit sporadic of late. That's because he's had a lot going on with his kid being an amazing baseball player and in a baseball tournament. And also he's moving into a new house right across the street. That, my friends, is a life lesson right there. Seriously, having moved so many times, I can just attest, as a collector, it is very, very challenging to move. And Polly did it right. Move right across the street, man. Just move across the street. It's perfect. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Again, I'm very terrible with self-promotion, so I appreciate that, Desmond. Dude, where do you live that it's been snowing all week? Are you buried yet? I just remember the snowstorms that we used to have when I was a kid, where we had so much snow piled up that when they plowed the driveways of my friend's house, it built a pile of snow so high that we were able to dig not just a tunnel, but an actual like igloo within. We had a chamber in there. I'm sure we were just like one cave-in away from dying, but fortunately that didn't happen, as my presence here can attest. Oh yeah, Allie, dude. Seriously, it's yeah, my aunt has a Keurig, and she's tried to talk me into getting one, and I'm like, why? I understand the convenience of it, but man, I've just never been satisfied. Every time I drink a Keurig cup, it shrivels my soul just a little bit more. Totally does. No hate, man. No hate. That is pretty amazing. Oh my God, I'm walking. Okay. Oh my God, I'm losing so much. Yes, Polly agrees. That's an endorsement from Captain Carson Teva himself. Yes, Brandy Wood's art is very, very good. All right, yeah, someday we'll see. This is Matt Sites'. I think it's Sites. Feels like it's Sites. The first live chat, despite having been neighbors for a year and a half, up until recently. He recently moved away. Did you go across the river? You were talking about going across the river. I seem to remember that. Brandy points out that the name of that controller is Lunar Shift. I'm just going to grab that right now. Just get that out of the way. Yeah. And you know, it strikes me that it doesn't... I don't even know if it's actually going to come across with the lighting here, but maybe it will. But here it is. Look how, I mean, that just looks like something that just popped right out of the lunar landing. It looks like it belongs on an Apollo mission. But you can just see how it picks up gold here in some area. Oh, sorry, other way. It picks up gold here in some areas, and then it shifts over to silver. It's really, really cool. And I don't like to get like plain old green, plain old blue, plain old red controllers when I pick them up. There was one that I've lost that this one replaces. So happy you all got to experience that with me. It was polar white, which legitimately was a much more unique version of white to just the standard white controller that you can still get today. And I miss it. I really miss having it. I feel like I left it behind and my wife threw it out when I left. She says she doesn't have it now anyway, and I know I don't. Brandy's blushing. It's not the first time I've seen that. That a boy. That a boy. Again, people are just cranking out the life lessons today. That alone is worth the stream, visiting the stream. Just the life lessons from everybody here. It won't get you into trouble one of these days if you're clever enough. Gina B. Collecting agrees with me that coffee is life. He'll learn. He'll come around. Again, David, thank you so much for the comments that you leave on the web, on the videos at Sideshow, on Sideshow's channels. Really, really appreciate it. They're actually more important than ever now. So yeah, please, anybody who actually pays attention to what videos I do with Sideshow, like, comment, all that good stuff. It really will help me right now. So I think I'm almost caught up. Wow. Ooh, that sounds fun. That sounds fun. I just have all these crazy ideas about... Despite the fact that my very existence is predicated upon having a solid house to live in and to display all the collectibles that I like to collect and everything like that, there is a part of me that really wants to just live that motorhome lifestyle, you know? Just go out and buy myself something that I can just drive and live in at the same time. More than a van, less than one of those big bus-sized things, but just something just convenient that I can easily park. I think I was inspired by the people that I saw doing that along the coast of California all year long as I was riding my bicycle and my motorcycle up the coast. Very, very cool. Commander Green is here. Everybody go check out Commander Green's Instagram. He's a he's a rising star in 6-scale figure photography. Started out with Black Series. People are... Oh my god, my neighbor is texting me right now. He's live texting me with as he's watching the Book of Boba Fett for the first time. Yeah. This cup's almost empty. That means the stream's over, right? Just kidding. Allie doesn't do the pods anymore. That's cool. That's cool. I didn't know that was something you could do. That's kind of a relief. Yeah. Thank you for the Gesundheit and the bless you from everybody. Oh, Lord Keyless is here. Hello, Lord Keyless. Great pose on Kylo Ren. I was actually just looking right now, and I'm having to decide what I'm gonna do with this guy. I'm just gonna bring him out again. Because I'm gonna want him on display soonest. So I have to make sacrifices, and I had a place set up for him in a DTOF, but I kind of slid that arena suit fed in there, and it looks really good on the shelf by itself, so I'm kind of going to leave it like that. Might have to sacrifice Rey and Dio and Kylo Ren in order to make room for Boba Fett on throne. Totally happy with that, totally fine. Lewis, yes, I did see Wakanda Forever. I saw it with Keith and Ali Lee, who are in the chats right now, and I was really nervous about it because I just met Keith and Ali for the first time last week with Brandy Woods when we went for smash burgers at a little place called City Park Grill over by Tower Grove Park in St. Louis. And by the way, apologies for those burgers, guys. I think something was up because those were not of the quality that I've come to expect from City Park Grill. I think we just caught them at the tail end of a lunch shift and the cooks were just done. So revisit that place at another time and they'll be even bigger. Bigger? They'll be even better. I promise. Feel free to invite me along. I'll join you. But yeah, Wakanda Forever was everything. I took notes. Winston Duke was freaking on point. Man, I have great respect for Winston Duke as an actor. I think he's transformative in everything that he does. The first time I think that I recognized him and like bothered to look him up was when I saw Us. And then I was like, no way, that's the dude from Black Panther? No way. Yeah, just the transformation that he goes through. And just the way that he carries himself. You legitimately feel like this man is the leader of a mountain tribe in freaking Africa. And even more, that was in the first movie, even more so in the second movie. He's just evolved it a little bit. His journey in that movie is really, really first rate. Person of interest I have not seen, Steve, so maybe I should take a look at that, because every so often an actor just pops onto my radar and I want to explore everything that actor's ever done. Chadwick Boseman was one of those actors, by the way. That's and the respect that I have for him is monumental. You see that I have a copy of his cover of Time magazine on display behind me, and I got this week. That's right, man. Isn't this cool? It's heavy as hell. It's because it's made of all resin. It's not like actually a mask that you would expect to be worn by somebody in Wakanda. But the ceremonial mask, the ceremonial Black Panther mask from the river scene in Black Panther. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's in person, the details on it are just arguably a little bit soft, but for displaying on a wall and just even looking at it here on film, it looks pretty damn good on film. What's film? What's film? Again, heavy as hell. I think this thing probably weighs between 5 and 10 pounds somewhere. Yeah, the box that when it shipped, the information for the box on UPS's website said it was 20 pounds. That had to be dimensional weight. Shipped in a huge box. Disney. This is from the Disney store, by the way. This is from Disney online, Shop Disney. It's an exclusive for members. Like members get priority at Disney for things like this. And so I just ordered that just on a lark, and I'm glad that I did. I'm really glad that I did. Of course, later on, I found out that they also have the cloak of levitation from Doctor Strange, and I was like, Argh! My poor wallet. My poor wallet. Anyway. I actually did just see Dr. Sleep, Matt, and I loved it. I'm actually gonna. I saw it, and then I found out that there is a director's cut. So now I have to watch it again. No regrets. None. No regrets whatsoever. What's this mean? Why are there only humans imprisoned? Oh, that! We're going to Andor. Did everybody see Andor? Spoiler alert. Best prison break scene I've seen in a long, long time. Oh, that's a good question. And my thought on it is probably humans get prison. Aliens, because the Empire is racist, get slavery. Which is just a less evolved version of imprisonment. That's my guess. That's the answer that I'm giving. I'm pretty sure that the real reason for it is budget. They decided to focus, rather than having to do the aliens and having to work with Jesus. I'm trying to remember the name of that studio that makes all the great effects masks. Anyway, rather than having to work with them and pay and send the money their way, they decided to throw the budget somewhere else, and we're seeing that in the environments, in the sets, everything, and it's great. I mean, I'm simply enamored. I don't think I've been really shy about saying how enamored I am with Andor. I was really gratified to see that despite all the highlights, all the headlines that we're seeing of people saying that nobody's watching Andor, that it's bullshit. It actually wound up being either number 2 or number 3 on the most watched list of streaming series last week. There was I can't remember which site that was from, but they published a list of all the requests to view different series, and Andor I think was slotted in there at number 3. She-Hulk was way down like number 6 or number 7, which also makes me understand that it's actually more popular than the haters want you to believe that it is. But don't believe the hate, man. Do not believe the hate. Yeah, that's a valid point. I hadn't thought about that. It's been a while since I thought about actually having a motorhome, but yeah, I would imagine that they segregated. I think that's probably a safe assessment. Keith Lee throwing money my way, making it rain. Thank you, Keith. Oh, dude, it's still in the car. It's still in the freaking car, man. If you go to see Wakanda Forever, at least at our theater, they have these tin popcorn buckets with like the Wakanda logo on them, or the Black Panther logo on them. They're really, really awesome. If you get a large, then you can request that bucket. And yeah, I have it here somewhere in the car, back of the car, which was buried in snow this morning. I had to shovel it out. Not really, I just had to wipe it off. It was like 3 inches. Jealous? Of course you are. Don't lie. You are, man. You're freaking terrifying. Do you even know? Have you seen yourselves? Perfection. These two are Keith and Ali Lee are specimens. Everybody, honestly, if you ever really feel the need to, I don't even know what I was going to say there. I have no idea what I was going to say there. Stupid. Desmond Hastings, yes. Yes, he really, really does. I don't know what it is, man, but seriously, no matter what character he's playing. I will say this about Wakanda Forever without spoiling anything. I feel like Black Panther really, really set up Shuri's character for Wakanda Forever, and by that I mean all the discussion, both just the conversation she was having with her brother, and just her bearing and the understanding that I developed of her attitude towards tradition. The simple fact that M'Baku labeled her as a child who scoffs at tradition, and that's exactly accurate. That was not an unfair assessment of her as a person. And I really thought to myself, this is an opportunity with Wakanda Forever to explore that side of her character, and they do. They actually do address that. I won't say how, but it really works into the show, into the story in a great way. Dude. Yeah, that's also not spoiling anything. But the way they did the Marvel look. I was really nervous about going to see Wakanda Forever with Keith and Ali Lee, because I'm just like, I've only met these people once, and already they're going to get to watch me cry like a baby in a movie theater. Go see the movie. Watch the opening credits. I can't talk about it or I'm going to start gushing like the waterworks will begin. Right? Oh, God. Yeah, definitely the good old days, man. You know what, though? As a photographer, though, I've come to embrace the digital. I will never go back to film unless, of course, I don't know, something happens. What is it that they had in Dune? They had the Machine Crusade, and yeah, if they do away with that sort of technology for whatever reason, then I was forced to go back to film, then I'd embrace it. I do lament the loss of photography as a craft, as something that you had to study and develop an understanding of the science involved in order to really excel at it. Because once digital came along and made all that stuff just automatic, then I was pretty much out of a job. It's very, very hard for me to find work these days as a photographer, because there's so many soccer moms, for instance, out there with their prosumer level DSLRs that are willing to do what I did professionally, only they'll do it for free or for cheap. So yeah. Oh my God, everything's just jumping around here. How much? Okay, I'm pretty close to the end. I'm doing better. Oh, sorry they gotta go there, bro. Yeah, it's always good to have you on board here, and look forward to seeing some more stuff from me, because I'm making some shifts in how I do things, just to free up more time for myself. Like yesterday, I edited a whopping 3 videos for Sideshow. That's faster than I've ever done anything by like an order of magnitude. So my system that I use is improving actively. I'm actively seeking to improve it. So that means more free time to do what I want to with the hobby, rather than what I have to do in order to get paid. Do it. Do it. You will be so happy. You will be so happy. I remember before I went to I avoided spoilers like the freaking plague as much as I could. But there was one review from the Washington Post, and I can't remember the woman's name who wrote it. But it was essentially like the Black Panther spends a third of its time or more than a third of its time, or like, I don't know, like a 2.5-hour tribute to Chadwick Boseman. And I'm like, and? I mean, if you went into that movie expecting anything but a tribute to Chadwick Boseman to dominate, I mean, yeah, they didn't like focus on Chadwick Boseman on T'Challa the entire time, but his spirit was definitely felt throughout the course of the movie, as his philosophy and his policies were at odds, or as they were proven to have created circumstances in the film that were detrimental to Wakanda, for instance. Then yeah, you always felt his presence like a ghost lingering over the entire narrative. Insofar as that goes, then yeah, the presence of T'Challa was definitely felt. But don't believe the hype if people start trying to pitch this film as just being a 2.5-hour long homage to Chadwick Boseman. It's not. And anybody who says so, I would challenge them as to whether or not they were actually at the film, and if they were they actually paying freaking attention? Because it's good filmmaking, and it does do a service to Chadwick Boseman and the character of T'Challa in a way that I think everybody will come to appreciate. Keith, you're right. Stan Winston, thank you. Stan Winston Studios, which is now Legacy Effects. And I should know that because we've worked very closely with them for a long time at Sideshow. But I didn't come here to talk about work. Oh my God. You know what just occurred to me? Allie Lee says she's jelly because I got 0 snow, and that just reminds me that I've got donuts here. So I'm going to take a bite out of one of these. Yeah, I have no, that's so weird because we're only like, what, 20 miles from each other? Maybe? Maybe? And I got like 3 inches of snow. Hi, Jason. Welcome to the stream. Oh, Gabe's here. Hey, Gabe. Let's see. Oh my God, once again, a bunch of comments just pop up. Were you bawling? I couldn't tell. Let's hear it for darkness. Woohoo! There were tears. Yeah, I'm just like, okay, I think I successfully wiped those away without anybody seeing. What about this one over here? Ah, the guy next to me was pretty much snoozing. Either that or he's got a breathing issue. Great, he probably had COVID. Thanks. Yeah, I think it's going to be an emotional experience for everybody, assuming you have souls. Yeah, dude, Tommy said it best. Film cameras are great when there's an EMP blast, especially the old school Nikon FM2, yeah, FM3. God, I wish I had one of those. I never owned one. You know why I actually kind of scoffed at them at the time? I was leaning towards the more technologically advanced cameras, like the F4. Yeah, like the Nikon F4. That was my first real camera. I mean, I had like prosumer level ones up until that point, but I found a used F4 and used some money from my grandma to buy it. Let's hear it for birthday cash. Or that might have been graduation cash. I can't remember. Yeah. Yeah, I do, but it's in a box downstairs. I have the Sideshow OG-16 General Grievous. I don't get the hate. I never had a problem with it, but then I pose figures for a living, so maybe it's just because I'm patient, and I've had frustrations with figures before, so I've learned how to just go into this Zen mode where I just kind of have a stare down with the figure and just face off with it and just say, okay, what have I got to do to make this work? Every figure's going to have its own challenges. You're never going to find perfection in a figure, almost never, but it will work. Yeah. Could it have been made better? Inarguably. I will say that. I think it's safe to say that without angering my employer. Hopefully they know. Hopefully they're aware. I still think photography students should learn black and white with film. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Like there should be like even now, you don't even have to have the darkroom to do that. As a photojournalist, one of the lines that we don't cross is if you can't do it in a darkroom, then you can't do it in Photoshop before publication. So anything that you can do to fix a photo in a darkroom is fair game. But if you're going to be adding elements, taking elements out, things like that to actually change the image, then you're basically promoting a lie. At least those are my words. That's how I always treated it. If you're going to do that, then you can't advertise. You know, like at the bottom, you always have like the byline, the cut line, the byline, whatever, where it says like Terry Smith photo. Or if I was going to be doing something in Photoshop to enhance that photo beyond the capabilities of a darkroom, I would call it a photo illustration. And I insisted every time that would be how it would be addressed. Yeah, dude, totally. I again bringing up that logo, and I think I can say it. I think I'm in an emotional state right now where I can say it without breaking down. But it was legitimately all the images in the Marvo logo, as it was brought up in total silence, were of Chadwick Boseman. Not total silence. There were sound effects, but yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We were marveling at the fact that all these people. I mean, how many MCU movies are there now? There's always at least a mid-credit scene. In this case, there's a mid-credit scene, but no post-credit scene. So you can, if you don't like watching the credits roll, then you can leave after the mid-credit scene. So many people leaving, and I'm like, I legitimately said out loud, and the other two agreed with me. Have these people not seen a Marvel movie before? Come on! I didn't say come on, but still, that was my attitude. Oh, yeah, that's fair. I get it. That's... Oh, John Galgano's here. Great, now we can start talking to Star Wars. I've got to do it with every figure. I just did a quartet of figures this past week, and every single one was unique. Each one had they're all from the same family, and I had to deal with different ways of changing portraits in every one. So it's so important. I mean, as soon as you assume that you know how to do something, that's when you break something. And I did. I totally broke one of the figures. My fault, not theirs. If I'd read the instructions, I would have been fine. But I did not, and I broke the figure. Hope my boss isn't watching. Just kidding, he'll know when I send it back. Guilty. Pause 1 second for station identification and to refill my coffee. You've been sitting in the shadows of this chat this entire time, waiting for that opportunity to pounce. I'm so happy for you. Here's to you, my friend. Very, very cool. That's my first big belly laugh of the day. Thanks, Paul. Thank you so much. I need a bib. Oh my god, that was so good. That's different. That's different because you're talking landscape scenes, and that's fair game. What I was talking about was for photojournalism. When you're talking about these days, it's more important than ever for journalists to be perceived as truth tellers. The constantly promoted misinformation, the constantly promoted message that journalists are dishonest, that has to be combated. That has to be combated, and the best way to combat that is to be aware of. Sorry, I got distracted by a comment. But the best way to combat the war on truth, so to speak, is basically to be extra vigilant. For editors to keep an eye on their reporters, because there are some nefarious sons of bitches out there that will, for self-promotional purposes, they will actually straight up lie. If you've ever heard of a guy named Stephen Glass, he's very famous for working for a paper called The New Republic. Rising star, everybody loved his stories. They were very much human interest pieces and such. Turned out, after a few years of doing this, it came back that everything he ever wrote was manufactured. He lied about it all. And it came very close to bringing down the New Republic. The whole story is documented in a great, great film called Shattered Glass, starring none other than Hayden Christensen in the role that he was born to play. He was so good in that film. So if you haven't seen Shattered Glass, excuse me, I just burped. Don't know if the mic picked that up. But if you haven't seen Shattered Glass, I highly recommend it. If you're a fan of Hayden Christensen, that's just the way to go. That's putting it bluntly, yeah. See, the thing of it is and I've not been involved with the production of a figure like Grievous. The original Grievous, the battle droids, all that, those things all happened before I came on board at Sideshow. But just looking at how they work, everything was proprietary. You had to basically reinvent the wheel for every aspect of those figures. As such, you don't have the time to really make mistakes and then correct those mistakes for the next generation of figures. There's only going to be one General Grievous figure. So, for instance, and yeah, if it didn't work, then you can't. It's too late to fix it. Wow, really? Huh, that's a conversation he and I have not had, which is saying something, because we've had a lot of conversations. Oh, yeah, that's really, really cool, dude. I loved that figure. We did a How to Be a Poser on it. And I was just like, when they told me we were going to do it, I was like, really? And then I got it in hand, and I got some, I don't want to pat my own back, but going to anyway. I got some what I felt were really awesome poses with it, and I think that's more of a. I'm saying that as a testimony to the figure more so than myself, but it's really really cool. Creep. I'm normally too scared to push the posing in case I break the figure. Too expensive. Yeah. I think that that's probably something that my ADHD has benefited me with, because I think I legitimately forget the fact that I might actually break the figure if I push it. I think that I just don't think about it. I get distracted. I get hell-bent on I focus on what I want to achieve, and then I just do it. And then when I break it, I'm just like totally surprised. I'm like, how did that happen? No, definitely not the same. I don't know. Oh, Lord Keyless has seen it. It's great. I've seen that movie at least 2 times, maybe 3. Because it does appeal to the journalist in me. Okay, and what's next year? I wasn't gonna do this on screen because of the high risk that this cherry stuff is gonna get stuck in my mustache. But just to entertain everybody, I'm gonna take a bite out of this messy ass donut just because I have to know how it tastes. Ready? Here we go. Here we go. Oh. Good God. I'm going to put that away. Cherry cheese tart. So fluffy. Look, it's falling apart. I love when they fall apart. Just kidding. Okay, I'm going to put that away because that thing is dangerous. And then I'm going to do my level best to forget that it exists. Where are we at? Man, it's already been almost an hour. You guys really make my mornings fly. Thanks for that. I'm sure. Nothing comes to mind. I broke the wrist peg on a figure yesterday when I was posing it. And then I continued with the shoot. I hit it, and I guarantee you'll never know. The hand's just doing its thing, but you'll never know because of the angle. Yeah. Yeah, and it's not always saying anything about the collector. It's more like they're delicate, dude. They're so delicate that eventually something is going to break. And again, if it will be a combination of, I don't want to say carelessness because I think that's unkind, but it's definitely, you have to be vigilant. Yeah, you have to be vigilant, but not everyone can be vigilant all the time. I think that there are studies about that actually just say, no. Allie, you know what I did here? I was talking about the coffee. You were asking me about the coffee and the stuff from Piper's Lab. I accidentally mixed the Trader Joe's coffee with the Piper's Lab coffee. The results are not stimulating. Let's see, what does this say? Yeah, I think that's, yeah. Put that in a comment. Again, it's a dark time for the rebellion, my friends. Yes, I have, man. Yeah, no, not while high, but I have had a I've had a maple bacon donut from Duck Donuts on several occasions. There was a Duck Donuts just 3 or 4 blocks from my house in Charlotte that I would occasionally walk to, and I would meet friends there, and we'd go on toy hunting trips and such together. Yeah, that actually I think is probably better than this cherry cheese tart. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Mike Games is here. Hey, Mike Games. What's up, dude? Oh God, the collector. Which pictures? The ones from the figure that you can't see them yet because man, I can't talk about them other than to just say that something happened with a figure in it, and yeah. But you'll see it when it drops. And when it drops, maybe I'll just say, yeah, that was the one. Yeah, but maybe not. I don't know. They might frown on me saying, hey, I broke this figure. They shouldn't. just a natural part of the process. But, I dropped my DLX Siege Optimus the other day. Oh, the day I got it, and one of the ankle pieces popped off. Luckily, it snapped back on. Yeah, a lot of these pieces are breakaway, and I dig that about them. For instance, I've got a high shelf in my bedroom. It's about 6 feet, and there are several figures on it. Nightmare fuel! But yeah, I have several Iron Man figures on this super high shelf, and it's no secret that the War Machine Mark 1 base, the Neon Tech War Machine Mark 1 base, is insufficient for stabilizing the figure. But I ignored that, and I put it up there, and I had the Mark 2, or the 2.0 Mark 4 Neon Tech figure. The Neon Tech Iron Man 2.0. 3.0? 2.0? That brings up something. In front of it. So something happened. I think I was putting something up on the shelf, and I turned around and walked away, and I just heard this clatter, crash! And both those Neon Tech figures fell from the 6-foot shelf, and just pieces went everywhere. But of all those pieces, only 2 small ones were broken. The rest just popped off and were replaceable because they were designed to be breakaway. That's just part of the brilliance of Hot Toys. They recognize when an area is sensitive, delicate, whatever, and if they have the opportunity, they make it so that it will pop off and you can put it back in order to save endless heartache for people somewhere down the line. I mean, obviously, because of the scale, you can't do that with everything, but they did it with so much that legitimately I only broke 2 very small pieces that are also repairable. Can't sell them now, but yeah. I don't think those Neon Techs are going for much anyway. So, look at that! I've caught up! That's insane. Is there anything else that I wanted to show off? Oh yeah, I think I was going to show off to everybody the... We were talking about motorcycles last week, and I was... and I had said that I was going to bring up a photo of the motorcycle I intend to buy, if all goes well in my world in the near future. And this is it. Yeah, baby, look at that. That is a Ducati Scrambler, and outfitted with a Termignoni tailpipe to make it growl like a hungry dragon. And hopefully, sometime in the next few months, that or a bike like it will be mine. So, yeah. Okay, where am I here? Wow. Anybody else have any questions or anything? Let's see more text from my neighbor. Or no, it's the same text. Sorry. Yeah, Diablo. That's that is my that's my jam. Yeah, but I've noticed since I left, there was a time in my life where I was really, really happy, and then there was a time in my life when that kind of happiness just sort of faded. And after careful consideration, like a year or so, year and a half of consideration, I came to realize that that happiness ended when I sold my last Ducati. So I really, really, really would love to get a motorcycle back in my life. Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah. Everybody, I told Keith Lee yesterday that I was going to apologize to Brandy Woods for not posting her her website. Or we're not talking about her art, I should say, on the chat last week. That's something that I'm going to amend. In any future episodes in which I have a guest, there will be ample discussion of what that person is up to. Yeah, so I will be more diligent of that in the future. Now, I have to say that don't think that Brandy Woods brought this up and said to me, hey, why didn't you bring up my... Oh, no, she did not. It was just something that occurred to me as I went back and just looked over certain things on that stream, and I realized there's a way that I can do that better. So going forward, yeah. For instance, when Paul had me on his stream, and we talked a lot about what I do, so it's only fair. That's part of the reason why we do these things. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when. I have I got a lot happening right now. Again, that I can't talk about. So yeah, you can rely on there to not be spoilers on this channel for a week. I have a week leeway, spoiler-free policy, and everybody here respects that. We've never had a spoiler in the comments before. So I have no reason to believe that anybody would be willing to do that. Oh my God, no! Oh God! Oh God! Here! Oh God! I can't stop. Darn it! Oh, so good. Oh my God. I had a what did I have? Was it a Honda? No. It was a Kawasaki Vulcan Limited. I think it was like a 96, 95 or 96 Kawasaki Vulcan Limited. It was a 550. Looked like a Harley. In fact, once I was sitting at a stoplight and a dude on a Harley rolled up next to me because I thought it was a Harley, and he looked down and he saw it was a Honda and he rode off. You just saw the disdain on his face, man. He was just like, oh, and rode on. Oh, man. It should. It should. This donut should give you serious FOMO. I'm like, what the hell is happening? I can't even begin to describe it. But there was just a lightness to the pastry. I mean, it's not quite croissant, but it's close. Don't talk nonsense, girl. Yes, it's actually better than the Kringle. Oh! Alright, somebody's already commissioning Brandy Woods for work. Do it, people. Oh, did they win it again? Excellent. Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. You know that YouTube Shorts thing that's becoming popular as a result of TikTok. I can't remember what they're called on Facebook, but I don't really watch a lot of YouTube Shorts, but I do watch those shorts on Facebook, and most of the time it's MotoGP shorts. Freaking love those things, man. I love watching motorcycle racing. The reason I got into Ducati was because in 1992 I went to the World Superbike Championships in Brainerd, Minnesota, and watched Doug Poland win the World Superbike Championship race there on a Ducati 851. And just hearing that angry dragon roar, just to differentiate from the whiny screams of the Japanese bikes, I was like, that's the bike I need, man. That is just mean as hell. And I knew then that I was, at some point in my life, I was going to have a Ducati. It didn't happen for another 30 years. 30? 20 years. But, yeah, I had a Ducati. I had Ducati for a decade, 2 Ducatis, spanning a decade or so. And now I have nothing. It's just wrong. Oh. Yes. Sort of. I feel like I should take out a rider on it as well, just to be sure. I don't know. I have insurance up to a certain level, but once it's past that level, once things like collectibles become involved, then I'm not sure exactly how that goes. So I do need to visit my my insurance guy and say, hey, thanks for all you do. Let's see if you can do more. Dude, seriously. Seriously. I mean, I really need to be sampling that blueberry cake donut, but I've had that before. This is... Oh, God. I can't. I just can't not. I'm gonna be picking bits. I'm gonna be picking bits of that out of my beard for hours. Oh, I'm so excited by how good this is. As I'm looking at these comments, I just want to reiterate that if I skip your comment or if I don't bring your comment up, then please don't take it personally. I really try very hard to address everybody's comments and questions, but you guys are so prolific with the commenting and the questions that sometimes I miss one. They scroll by so fast, and I apologize. I've gone back and looked at streams and just scrolled down the comments, and I'm like, oh, I didn't see that one, and it was such a great comment. It happens more often than I'd like, and I apologize for that. In fact, I've considered maybe just going back and answering or replying to comments like in the comment section of the video as it goes back live, as it goes back onto my my channel. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in seeing me do, just to make sure that I can give everybody the attention that they deserve here. It's true. Keith Lee went out and bought, what was it, bro? $50 worth of donuts last week or the week before. That's impressive. That's a prodigious amount of donuts, man. I mean, I know you got kids and everything, but you and your family's fit. You know, you guys like exercise and stuff. You guys exercise and stuff. I can feel my face getting fatter with every bite of donut. It's so insane. Fresh fruit really does, but it is better for you. And fresh fruit is legitimately my everyday breakfast. With a little bit of cheese thrown in too. I love the cheese department at Trader Joe's. They got a lot to choose from there. But almonds, cheese, fruit, that's my typical breakfast. That's what I eat every day for breakfast. Except for when Brandy Woods is here, then it's pastries. Dude, so much. So much. Yeah. I love it. I'm never happier than when I've got a motorcycle in my life. Oh, that's not what I wanted to bring up. The comments jumped again. Love the V-twin sound. Yeah, me too, man. That's cool, but like, not to split hairs here, but the Ducati is an L-twin, which is a somewhat different configuration, but which also has a different exhaust note that's very much. You can differentiate it from, say, a Harley Davidson, for instance, or the. I think that the Triumphs are also V-twins. I was looking at Triumphs there for a little bit, but I think the Ducati's where it's at. This bike, and I'm just going to bring the bike up again because it's dead sexy and everybody needs to see it more than once in their lives. But this bike actually has the same engine as my old Ducati Monster. What was it? The 796 Monster, which was actually an 803 displacement. But it has the same engine in it, but it's detuned. So it only has, I want to say, 73 horsepower as opposed to the 96 that the Monster had. The cool thing about detuning is that I feel like that which is detuned can be retuned. So I'm going to bring that up with my local Ducati dealership. Hey man, is this something that I can give more nuts to? Because I really feel like this Ducati needs more nuts. What's life without a little exaggeration? Yeah, a little embellishment, right? It's true. Brandy Woods does not eat breakfast. Leaving me with all that pastry. Actually, you know what, Steve? Chopped was actually the influence behind Strike a Pose. It's true. Yeah, when they approached me with it and pitched it to me and asked if I'd be interested in doing it, they were just like, "Have you seen Chopped?" And I'm like, "No." I don't even know what it is. Actually, to this day, I have not seen an episode of Chopped. So I'm told that it's kind of a similar format to the original Strike a Pose. The world may know, but I never will, because I don't see myself watching one now. Strike a Pose is dead. Yeah, I don't foresee that happening again anytime soon. I think that I think they woke up and realized the obvious, that the logistics of getting a bunch of people together streaming was monumental. We had a really, really hard time of it, say, with the dwarves, the three dwarves from The Hobbit that were on the Gandalf episode of Strike a Pose. Polly can probably attest it was a little bit challenging. The other thing is that yeah, we could always try to bring them into the studio, but again, it's the logistics of trying to get three people to actually show up at the Sideshow Studios during the same time of day, with the LA traffic being what it is. Sometimes people wind up getting delayed by an hour or two getting there. It's just not feasible, and I get it. And it's I'm just glad that it existed. It was a lot of fun while we did it, and who knows, maybe somebody will be able to figure out a way to make it work again. But for now, I don't really foresee any more episodes of Strike a Pose happening. Maybe I went too far by saying it's dead, but there are definitely no plans to make any future episodes at this point. So we'll see. Yeah, it really was, but man, the logistics involved. Whew. Yeah, there was a woman named Kirsten who was instrumental in getting all of the guests involved and whatnot. I think that was like a two-way street for her, and also with the PR department at Sideshow, just trying to find guests for the show, and they did great work. We had some really awesome, fun episodes during the pandemic that I will always treasure being a part of. And I never, ever, ever regret any of my decisions on who's the winner. This is me looking at you. You know who you are. Oh, man. Okay. Is Polly still lurking? I don't know. I've been rewatching some of your early videos from a few years back. Do you still have that PF Kylo Ren? I do not. I sold it to a dude out in New York. Yeah, it's no longer around. There's just something, I keep trying to get into Star Wars statues, and I just can't maintain it. The ones that I have here still are all... they're all just freebies from the time that I worked at Sideshow. Just stuff that was like production samples that were going to get tossed or whatever. And they don't have boxes. They're not things that I can sell, for instance. So the ones that I have here are just things like that. But it seems like every single time. Oh, look at this guy. Look at this guy showing up here. I'll get to you in a moment, sir. I just want to wrap up this thought before it goes completely away. Every single time that I've tried to get into collecting Star Wars statues, something about it has prevented me from doing so. Like, I've never really felt like I've been able to create a cohesive look for the display with Star Wars statue collecting. There are some few exceptions. To my right here, I actually have the Yoda and Clone Trooper premium format figure by Sideshow. I think it's legitimately the only, apart from the McQuarrie Stormtrooper and Boba Fett pieces, the only Star Wars statues that are on display in my entire house. The rest of the stuff is all like props, like stuff that I got at Galaxy's Edge, helmets. I feel like I got something else in a Star Wars prop recently, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. Maybe I'm just thinking of this guy. Yeah, Boba Fett on throne. Does it actually say? No, it just says Boba Fett. That would be weird if the stand actually said Boba Fett on throne and there was no stand. Anyway, Brendan Riley is here. Brendan Riley is my Daredevil's soul brother. Yeah, we both have an intense fondness for Daredevil. I've kind of like drifted away from reading the book, but as we can see right here, because this just arrived yesterday, I don't intend to stop completely. This is book 3. Will it focus on that? Yes, it will. All glory to Nikon. Yeah, we can see here that this is obviously Elektra as Daredevil on the cover, so I'm really interested in seeing how that plays out. Apparently, this Chip Zdarsky run on Daredevil is just epic, epic, epic. I didn't get the first hardcover. I'm really, really sad about that. I kept searching for it and searching for it and searching for it consistently. Didn't see it pop up, and it sold out before I was able to get one, and now it's selling for like $200, $300, $400. So I can't really afford to drop that much dime on a hardcover book. So I'll just wait for it to be reissued. Hopefully. Do 2 crossed fingers negate each other? Like, should you only do this? Do 2 double positives make a negative? I mean, not in math, obviously, but what about luck? Anyway. Yeah, dude, I think that for me, the reason that I gravitate more towards Star Wars figures is because of my days as a kid collecting Star Wars figures. It's just a natural evolution of the collecting, of the fun that I used to have, and posing the figures and photographing them and setting up, building sets and reconstructing battles or creating all new battles in my own head and on my own table is just me. That's the evolution of my play. Now I'm an adult and I play with my figures in an all different way, and it's a way that's more satisfying because I'm able to capture it and immortalize it via photography or videos and revisit it anytime that I want to. Yeah, I can't say to myself, remember that time that John Hayner came over to my house and we were playing with the Star Wars toys and this was the story we told? I don't remember any of that. But now every time that I play with my action figures, there's photo evidence or there's video evidence of it, and if I want to reminisce about a particular experience with action figures, then I can. Or it pops up on my screensaver on my computer, and I'm just like, that momentary nostalgia of that time that I recreated the C-3PO scene over here. That needs to be a meme or GIF, whatever. That's amazing. Seriously? Oh, wow. Okay. Fun. Oh, yeah, I just saw this comment from Keith Lee. I don't know. I don't know if it's a burn, but yeah, dude, it's I've got my sight on more X-Men stuff, but I don't have room for more X-Men stuff. That table's full. But I really do want that Storm. Missed out on that Thor PF. Yeah, I don't know what the future is of my statue collecting, but as prices go up, and they naturally will, because that's just the nature of the collecting beast, considering you have to pay for cost of materials, increased cost in shipping, the rising prices of everything in China. I mean, Sideshow's got bills to pay. So does everybody else. Oh, did you do a review on the swoop bike? I didn't get the notification. You are failing, YouTube. Why is my voice so raspy? Probably because I've been talking nonstop for 75 minutes. Yeah, Brendan Riley, getting back to Daredevil. Yeah, definitely. I felt like I had something else Daredevil to talk about. Oh, yeah, you got that art print, that Daredevil and Elektra art print that I think that you, just like me, you got it in as a canvas. I don't have mine yet. They just sent me the... I have to wait till it's in stock and everybody else has theirs before I can get mine. It's understandable. They want to take care of the customers before they take care of the employees, and I totally accept that, and I totally get it. And again, I'm firmly of the belief that, and I think everybody else should adopt this philosophy too, if only for their own peace of mind. There is no such thing as an emergency collectible. It's not. I mean, you really want to get it. I get it. I appreciate the passion. I'm sure Sideshow and everybody else appreciates the passion for their own product. But, yeah. I mean, believe me when I tell you that companies want to get their product out the door just as much as you want to receive it. So if there's been any sort of a delay, it's not intentional. They're not. I always love it when I see a comment like, "You guys are just sitting on these things in the warehouse. When are you going to start shipping them?" No, they're not. They're not. Warehouses cost money. That's rent. That's real estate. Anytime that you're like have a shipment of stuff coming in, the very first thing you want to do, I don't care what industry you're in, is get it out that door to make room for the next thing. Nobody's sitting on anything, my friends. They're not. I can promise you that. Oh, look, my aunt texted. Okay. I've been getting messages while I've been talking away, but... Oh, dude, so awesome. I actually have a Sienkiewicz art print on my wall of Stan Lee. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I remember looking at Bill Sienkiewicz's artwork when I was a kid and not getting it. It wasn't until my friend Mark, it took my friend Mark Maurer, who I've been friends with since grade school? Yeah, I think, yeah, 4th grade. That's when I met Mark. I almost went over backwards on my stool. That would have been a funny thing to see. Probably not so funny when I hit the back of my head and didn't get back up, but you guys would get like 5 minutes worth of laughter out of it before you realize that I'm not coming back. But yeah, now, dude, I can't get enough of Sienkiewicz's art. In fact, I wish that I still had all of my New Mutants titles from back in the day. No idea where they went. I think they just kind of just got lost. Mom probably found them and threw them out. He'll never miss them. He hasn't come looking for them. Holy crap. I think like 30 comments just sprung up onto my board here. I don't have a lot of Star Wars statues, but I love the ones I have. That's all you really need to do. And I think that that's probably a really healthy policy in collecting in general. The constant need to acquire more stuff is probably... I mean, if you're not of means, so to speak, then it might just be unhealthy. I'm just going to go ahead and come out and say it. It got unhealthy for me there for a bit, and I'm still kind of recovering from it financially. In fact, I'll just go ahead and say that it probably contributed significantly to the dissolution of my marriage. There were other issues at play that I won't get into here, but it didn't help. I have, and I have, and I have, and I have, and I have. I won't say it's never going to happen, but I find it highly, 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 highly unlikely that it ever will happen, without getting into why. But yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. So, opportunity Hot Toys, bring it. That's all going to depend on how well like the blurg does. Love that blurg. Love that blurg. Is that the? Are you talking about the statue? Did you not get it yet? Because I think it's shipping. Are you just waiting? You've got time. Ooh, really? Are you talking about, when you talk about R2, and old school R2 and 3PO, are you talking about, Kenner? The really old school ones? Or are you talking about, like, which ones are you talking about specifically? I'm curious. Whoa. Dude, half scale. Man. That's gonna take up some real estate. I can't remember, is Queen Studios licensed now? Because if not, I might be in trouble for posting that comment. Yeah, I didn't bring it up earlier, but again, for those of you who are just joining me for the first time, obviously I didn't come here to talk about work. There are NDA issues involved, so I can't talk too much about Sideshow, if at all. And I'm also... forbidden topics include unlicensed figures and statues and whatnot, as well as custom figures and such, which is fine. Yeah, they have issues with their licensors that they have to address, and I'm part of the team there, so I get to do that as well. That's interesting. That's interesting because I've been thinking about that. In fact, here's what I've done. I've actually gone out and bought clothesline. Really cool clothesline, not like the cheap plastic covered stuff that you see in like small town backyards and stuff, but really awesome like old school clotheslines and clothespins. And my plan is to print out a bunch of those things in like, I don't know, 11 by 14 size, a bunch of my favorite images, and seriously just hang them from those clothespins as if they were just pulled out of the wash, out of the fixer bath, and then out of the wash, and they're just hanging up there drying. In my mind, it looks great. How it's going to look in reality, the two things may be somewhat dissimilar, but I'm going to give it a try. We'll see. Brennan, bringing up that Daredevil print again. Yeah, I know, dude. I love the canvas. You can't see them right now because of the dark lighting, the mood lighting that I have going on here. Let's make that. Somebody make that a GIF. Somebody's actually going to do that right now, and I'm going to regret saying it. But I have prints by, God, I can never remember his name. Designer at Sideshow. God, I'm a big fan of his work, obviously, because I have two of his prints. But there's a, over here there's a Dr. Doom, and over here there's a Venom vs. Carnage print by Richard Luong. Richard Luong, yes. Yes. Great artist. His style and mine are somewhat similar because, like him, I like to do my characters coming out of darkness and whatnot. Somebody else I was talking to likes to do that recently. Chime in if it was you. Oh, I know. I wonder if I'm allowed to say it. Anyway, I know who it was. He's probably not in the chats, though. Ooh, I love having breakfast at local diners. It's been way too long. Hot Toys Captain Rex repos? Hey. I think I finally got mine where I like it. Finally. It took weeks. That can happen. Yeah, sometimes it takes longer than others. This is something. I know. I read a comment where somebody was accusing Sideshow customers of, or employees rather, of hoarding of hoarding the Stealth Suit cap. And I can tell you, that did not happen. That did not happen. That did not happen. The shit some people come up with, man. Seriously. Seriously. Love that tune. Oh. All right. Oh, that's a custom thing. We don't. I just got done mentioning we don't talk about custom stuff here, dude. Sorry. That puts me in violation at work. That gets me in trouble. So in the future, please be mindful of that. Is this still about Sienkiewicz? Oh shit, man, I'm losing track. Look at all this, man. I don't know what it is about this streaming thing that's going on here, but it looks like it'll look like I'm at the end of the comments, like I've reached the end, and then all of a sudden like 50 comments just pop up and I find myself behind again. It's kind of like being at work. Oh, I'm all caught up. Okay, here's more shit. I think it's amazing. I don't want to like it. I don't. I legitimately don't want to like it as much as I do. But everything about it, from the figure itself to the accessories to the product photography, is really, really on point, and it makes me wish I was getting it. I'm not. It doesn't fall under the very tightly controlled... yeah, I said that with a straight face, almost. Restrictions that I've placed on my own collecting these days. But I really, really wish I could, and I hope to be able to get a hold of it for like an episode of How to Be a Poser or something like that, and just, or maybe if they're so kind as to send it to me to do the first look unboxing of it, that would be awesome. Because it's just such a great figure, especially if you have the Dark Trooper, and then you can take parts of that Dark Trooper and switch them out and everything. It's just like cross promotion of a product. It's almost like build a figure at that point. But I think it's really, really, really cool. Yeah, dude, I'd totally be into a couple of Prometheus figures. I would be all over a David, for instance. I wonder if I'd want to do David from Prometheus or David from Covenant. Still love Covenant. Watched that recently again. All right, new rule: no making me jealous. Just kidding. Bring it. I can take it. That's awesome. That's awesome. You still have all those. I would love to go back. They have a omnibus. Maybe I'll pick it up. I don't know. A Bounty Hunter reissue? Are you talking about from Sideshow? Yeah, it's not unlikely. I think that's about a 50-50 toss-up, although I don't know. I don't know. I'm not even going to predict about that. Yeah, actually, Brandy Woods had the idea that I should actually do that. We don't talk about Bruno, only we don't talk about Sideshow. That might be in the works. I'm actually thinking about... Again, I keep talking about doing t-shirts and whatnot. I am in a conversation with a few people about doing branding for the show. So that may be coming. That may be coming. Well, maybe I'm wrong, John. I don't know. I just remember having a conversation with somebody about it before, and I thought I saw on the website that it was in stock and shipping. Now, just to make sure that I'm not giving people bad information here. God, I hate it when things take a long time to open on my antique computer. Not sideshow.com, sideshow.com. Again, can I just bring up, while this is loading, can I just bring up just how awesome Wakanda Forever is? Get thyselves up off thy asses, leave my stream, and go see that show. Because it's freaking great. Oh, it is still up for pre-order. It's not coming until next year. Okay. Wow, that's a huge edition size on that. I remember seeing it at Comic-Con and thinking, wow, that is amazing. So maybe that's why I thought, maybe I saw it at Comic-Con and thought, oh, it must be ready to ship. Okay, so not till next year then. Apologies, everyone, in advance for my misquote. I misunderstood. I thought that it was actually shipping already. Are you talking about the OG? Yeah. The OG was brilliant. I haven't really gotten a look at the new one, which I do like. I like the photos of it. I think it's awesome, but again, I just can't. I would much rather get action figures of Star Wars than statues. Tommy K has probably left like 15 minutes ago based on how long it's taking me to answer comments and questions, but yeah, I wish that I had something else to show you guys. I guess I could bring up the throne. I haven't even looked at the throne yet. When I opened the box, I did it at something of an angle, and like all the little tiny accessories just fell everywhere. Y'all have seen this by now. This is pretty much nothing new. Trying to level it. There we go. But in this lighting, it looks pretty good. It's very light. It somehow manages to be very light without feeling cheap. And I have no idea how it pulls that off. I'm told that the writing says Boba Fett. Somebody on this channel actually told me that, and I called it into doubt, and I was wrong. That's cool. You can see right through it there. There's the bottom. Nothing spectacular, just some legal stuff. But yeah, it's definitely plastic. It's pretty solid, so probably ABS. Which is great because ABS captures a lot of really sharp detail, which you can see in the Rancor. Looking pretty good. And the fine details in like the sandstone look of the stone itself on the throne. Bit soft, but that's to be expected. I'm sure that the original sculpt was really on point. You're just gonna lose. For those out there who don't know it, I think everybody here is probably savvy enough to know. But when you're every time that you do a cast of something from a mold, every time you mold something to cast it, you lose a generation of information. It's just gonna happen. Same thing with like audio tape. What's audio tape? Quiet, Junior. Just trust me. Ooh, wow. Okay, well, if you were gonna have just one 6-scale figure that's still available for purchase, I would go with the Mandalorian on Blurg. Because in my mind, I've got it up on a high shelf right now in my living room, and it screams Star Wars. Just him hanging out with that phase pulse rifle of his, reins in hand, just standing tall with the Blurg, just doing its thing. Few things have looked more Star Wars to me than that figure set. It's very, very, very cool. Just in terms of like the overall ambiance. When you're if you wanted to do a shout out to some of the source material, like the old Flash Gordon serials, or the old school art stuff like that you would see by Frank Frazetta, like fantasy art by Frank Frazetta. Just all, you've heard you've seen the interviews, you've heard people talk about where George Lucas drew inspiration from like old westerns, and what you get there is you get Flash Gordon, you get Gunslinger, you get westerns, and it's just all wrapped up in that big ass box that when you pull it out of that box isn't nearly so imposing, but at the same time has a lot of presence. And yeah, I'm very, very, very happy to have that thing up there. It looks really, really great. So I would recommend that. If you wanted something more OT, then maybe go with a 6-scale Darth Vader figure. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. What else? I mean, you can't just go with I guess, something else that I really like is the Jedi Luke Deluxe that came with the extra pieces to simulate that deleted scene on Tatooine. He's got the shawl that he wraps around himself or whatever it is, the cloak, little semi-cloak that he wraps around himself, as well as the goggles and everything. That, to me, for the similar reasons, it just really screams Star Wars. But not Yoda. So many of those figures really work more as a collection than they do as an individual. But if you're going to do that again, anything with the Mandalorian Din Djarin in it, because of the TV stuff, Boba Fett would be a solid one, or Darth Vader, and any one of those provides a hub around which you can build a collection. Because with Mando, you can get like Queel, you can get IG-11. And then just expand upon that. If you want to get opponents, you can get a couple of remnant troopers, perhaps. What have I got up there? You can get Moff Gideon. You can get what's coming down the pipe. I mean, we've got upcoming Mandalorian releases in the form of the 3 Mandalorians that appeared in The Mandalorian. So many Mandalorians. Heavy infantry Mando, Paz Vizsla. You just build that. Just start with the base, the hub as Din Djarin, and then build up from that. With Darth Vader, you get a Darth Vader figure, then you get yourself a couple of Stormtrooper figures, you get yourself an Emperor, you get some Imperial Guards, and you just grow out from that hub. With Luke Skywalker, if you wanted to start with a Luke Skywalker figure, start with maybe Farm Boy Luke, and then build up with Han Solo and Princess Leia, Chewbacca, the droids. That's another interesting thing. Something else that I plan on doing is just having another shelf with R2 and 3PO on it. God, they've got those Episode 2 versions of those figures coming soon, I hope. And That's not something I would have thought that I would have desired. But now that I've seen the images of them, the moment that they dropped, I was just like, why do those have to look so cool? How are they looking so cool? Yeah, that would be another good one to just build up on if you wanted a prequel-based thing. Get your droids. Or, you know, Anakin and Obi-Wan. I guess they really don't have a prequel Obi-Wan yet, do they? Do they? Oh, they do! That's right, Revenge of the Sith. I've got it downstairs. Duh. Okay, anyway, but moving along here. Kumar retracted a message. Oh, hey, Keith. Yeah, actually, I've talked about it with my friend Scott Heinemeyer. He is encouraging me to do that. I don't know that I have enough for a good-sized book, believe it or not. At least not enough that I would feel comfortable publishing. There's a lot of what I consider to be substandard work that I've done that worked at the time because it served a specific purpose to sell a figure or something, but there's not a lot that I would want to see in a book. I'd have to revisit it. Don't know. Man, I'm so far back that I just now caught Laura Keeles' comment about the clothesline. So many comments. Sound and fury signifying nothing, my friends. Sound and fury signifying nothing. Yeah, it's... I don't know if they underestimated the desire for that figure, if Hot Toys underestimated the desire for that figure, or if they just wanted to create the buzz. I've often said that it would serve... It's just been a thought. I know this isn't policy. I haven't even mentioned this to like Sideshow Brass or anything, but I've often thought, man, just every so often make something so uber limited that it generates buzz and generates hype and generates FOMO, and just let that be, I don't know, let that exist as such, and just make people want to buy the other stuff all the more. But I can't even remember how many that they said that they released. I do know that they were gone in the blink of an eye, and that's fine. A lot of figures out there, man. A lot of figures. I've actually owned Stealth Cap twice. And sold them both times. So, in my opinion, it's not essential, but others apparently hold another opinion. And that's the other problem too, is that when you severely limit it, 300 of them. So I'm seeing now Laura Keeles is saying only 300 of them. When you create that sort of shortage, then it's going to drive purchasing from people who will experience FOMO that wouldn't normally want it, but FOMO is making them say, well, I kind of want it, but not really. I better get it just in case. And then, of course, you get the opportunists who are going to come on board and try to scrape it up to throw it up on eBay and flip it for a ridiculously elevated price. Unscrupulous bastards, a lot of them. And yeah, it's tough for people to contend with, and I get that. I'm not going to hate on people for being angry, but I will respond strongly to anybody who suggests that there was some nefarious stuff going on by me or my co-workers in order to secure them for ourselves, because I can guarantee that didn't happen. Yeah, that would be fun. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, maybe. I don't know if actually I do have a t-shirt guy based in Florida. Yeah, I'll have to talk to him. Good friend from high school. Jesus Christ, it did it again, man. I was almost caught up and all of a sudden I got more. That is something, Darkest Night. Hello, welcome to the show. I'm just going to reiterate again, rules on the show are I cannot talk about Sideshow and I cannot talk about custom figures or unlicensed figures. That's verboten. I can get in trouble for that. So please keep that in mind when considering what sort of questions to ask. Not angry at you. You just didn't know, I know. Coke and Ice is here. Hey, dude. Welcome. Doc Smizzle is here. How long have you been here? Have you been here for a while? I feel like I saw a comment about you, but I just kind of glossed over it because I was talking to somebody else. Huh. My God, I'm so far behind in comments. How did that happen? I was caught up. I love watching you guys having conversations with each other. Favorite Star Wars Darth Vader figure made by Hot Toys? Well, I haven't seen all of it in hand yet, but I did get to play with the prototype, which at the time it was basically just Rogue One Vader. But I really, really feel like the new one from Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be my favorite, if only for that exposed portrait. I just think that's such a great look. We've seen it represented in not necessarily fan art, but like Mythos Vader kind of stuff in the comic books and whatnot, and it's going to be really cool to have a three-dimensional version of that on hand. Apart from that, I really do dig my original Empire Vader. I had the Rogue One. Not anymore. A lot of people do, dude. We'll see how that goes after the new one comes out. I'm anticipating something really awesome in that one, but we'll see. But yeah, Duracell Mando is currently on my shelf. Twice. Not many characters apart from Boba Fett can make that distinction. Or statement, whatever. Oh, your hub was Hoth Leia. Yeah, dude, that's a good way to start, too. I mean, Hoth anything. Hoth Leia, Hoth Luke. What is it? Snowspeeder Luke? I don't have that one, and I'm kind of regretting it now. Kind of regretting not getting that one. You know, I originally started this stream to talk to, like, friends back home. It was Facebook-based. And I was originally like, I wonder what everybody's doing. I was bored. And I really thought that I would get, like... I didn't think anybody who was a Sideshow fan would tune in to listen to me jabber about stuff. And it just became all collectors. At some point, that just shifted, and it became all collectors. And that's cool. And it became this thing where I got my my collecting bug back. Yeah, I was when your hobby becomes your work, it becomes your job. And a lot of the enthusiasm that I had kind of drifted away a little bit. But thanks to everybody for being here, because it actually really brought back that passion, that fire. And I think it's probably evident in the work I'm doing for Sideshow lately. Whoa. Gotta get a rope on these comments, man. There we go. That's where I was. Kind of tired. If only I had some wake-up juice. Talk about great figure. Great lighting can make any figure look amazing, says Kumar. That's true. It can make or break it. Sometimes I'm better at it than others. Kind of like people who make donuts. Some people who make donuts are better at it than others. That's a lot of filling. Oh my god, it's so good. Actually, that's an interesting question. Can you guess the answer? Everybody guess the answer. Just really quick. Just one guess. Don't guess multiple times. There's no prize in this. It was a one-year Proto Fett from... Oh, that's cool, dude. That's cool. Some of my favorite photos of that I've done are of that Mythos Obi-Wan 6-scale figure. I did a couple of them that I'm really, really happy with. Especially the one where he's just like standing on a dune in the dark with the 3 moons of Tatooine behind him. I love that one. I was really happy for the people who designed that figure that they used so many elements of the Mythos Obi-Wan for Obi-Wan's costume in Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I know they were thrilled. I know they were just absolutely over the moon. Pierre loves the Mando line. Yeah, me too, dude. Yeah, even I have to. I've made it. I've stated publicly and to myself that okay, I'm just going to focus on collecting Mandalorian and Boba Fett. Maybe a few other pieces from the TV shows here and there. That's really what's keeping me hooked right now. But I think that there are going to have to be pieces that I have to abandon. I desperately want the three Bo-Katan based the trio that she's with for of Mandalorians. I want that. I want pretty much any Boba Fett that comes out. Any Mandalorian. Wow. Okay, I think that's enough guesses. The answer is 0. I didn't pose any of those. Not one. And I'm trying to remember why. I don't think I'd moved yet. I was still in California. But the people who posed those were Kevin Ellis, who used to head up 6 Scale at Sideshow, and some dude named Mike, whose last name I've forgotten. He's kind of inconsequential. What did I decide? Oh, there. Yeah. I don't know. We can count on, I think, seeing Hot Toys produce a Cassian Andor figure now. Maybe. There are reasons why that may not happen, and I don't want to get into them publicly. But I really, really feel like they have kind of no choice at this time but to actually produce one. Have they shown photos of it yet? If so, I haven't seen them. Maybe well, we've already got the K2 droid coming down the pipe from Book of Boba Fett or Mandalorian or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what we'll see. The difficulty arises because Cassian changes clothes so many times. Someone suggested that the best bet would be to have him in the Imperial uniform. I kind of disagree with that just on general principle. I think the only real way to do a Cassian Andor figure would be to do a 2-pack. Just pick one of his plainclothes looks and also do the Imperial uniform disguise. But we'll see. We'll see which route that they choose to go. Because having the only Cassian figure be the one where he's in the uniform, it doesn't really embrace all of that character and who he is throughout the course of that show. It's just one single moment. And you can do that, but you also have to have him just being himself. Not him when he's pretending to be something that he's not. Sort of like the way that we had the Jyn Erso Deluxe figure, but we also had Jyn Erso in that disguise, that tech disguise that she was in. So I hope that makes sense. You are wise and powerful, my friend. I'm not saying Mon Mothma is hot, but she would get my vote if she was a U.S. Senator. I've always been a fan of that actor. What is it, Genevieve O'Reilly? Is that her name? I think that's Genevieve O'Reilly. First of all, I just love her name. I am not one for relationships at this point in my life, but I would give serious... I was like, your name's what? Oh, marry me? Yeah, so many outfit changes. I mean, the one that you obviously the ones you want to go with is the one that they chose to go with. Yeah, the much more Jedi-esque outfit. I thought so, dude. Yeah, because that's just a name that sticks in my head. Genevieve O'Reilly. It's got that old, classic, timeless quality to it. Genevieve does, and O'Reilly, well, she's Irish. Yeah. Got a weakness for Irish girls. By the way, Keith, did you see that Maggie O'Brien's? I don't know if you've ever been to Maggie O'Brien's in downtown. It's the Irish pub that I used to work at back in the 90s. But they just did a complete remodel. Looks like a hospital cafeteria with a bar in it. It's so... I don't know, man. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what happened there. But took out all the old school wood, anything that made it look like it was an actual traditional Irish pub from, I don't know, 1800s, early 1900s. Gone. It's just all clean and sterile, and Just looks like any other sports bar now. Totally loves the character. Yeah, I'm gonna text you a photo of it right now, just so you can publicly freak out about it. But where is it? There it is. Bear with me, folks. Stream's about to end anyway, so. Man. I'm probably down to money. Anytime that you throw in a different head sculpt, it's going to elevate the cost of the figure. But I don't know. Without actually having the figure in hand here, I couldn't really say whether there's elements of it that might actually add to the cost. Let me see if I can pull it up on screen. Maybe just take a look at it just to refresh my memory, because it has been a while since I've looked at it. Oh, oops. There we go. Collectibles. Where's Axe Woves? Come on, Axe. Where you at, dude? Show yourself. There we go. So he's 235. And Bo-Katan, by comparison, is 285. So there you go. That's why. That's why, because he only appears in the one episode. And Hot Toys probably weighed the value of featuring the character's portrait. And because we only see him in the one episode, and because of the $50 price hike for having a character's portrait, an additional portrait in there, they weighed the balance and decided that people are unlikely to drop that much money on a $285 character that only appeared briefly in the show. And I think that that's sensible. There we go. Cool. I probably would. But I recognize that I'm in the minority when it comes to just being unreasonable when it comes to making decisions to buy or not buy figures. Sorry, guys. I have to have another bite of this thing. This is amazing. That's really pushing the limits of my range of motion in my jaw. I really laugh at my own jokes a lot. Who dat? I don't know who Dead Ramiro. Oh, Dedra. Yeah, that could be cool. Dedra. I'm losing steam here. I'm probably losing viewers because of it, because that's what happens when you lose steam. Where are we at here? Yeah, we're about 30. Let's see. A few more questions here, then I'm going to go ahead and get my day started. I have much video to shoot this weekend, and I have to go shopping because something that this snow drew into sharp relief for me was the fact that I don't have snow boots, and I also don't have ice melt. I was lucky that the everything on the pavement melted before I even got up today. Oh, yeah, I don't think that was an issue in this particular case, Steve. Yeah. Nice one. Nice. Oh, Mop Bucket Droid. I will say yes to pretty much any droid, dude. Anyway. Alright. That's a good note to end things on. I don't think there was anything that I neglected to talk about. I think we got it all covered today. So thanks for tuning in and listening to me yammer. Gotta figure out a way to do like a yammer hammer. Yammer hammer. There it is. That's the yammer hammer, folks. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for the conversation. A great way to start the weekend. Dope way to start the day. I took that coffee mug in there. I don't have it anymore. So yeah, I will, until next time, be good to your plastic, and I hope you all have a great weekend and enjoy the week that follows. Go see Wakanda forever. It's worth it. It's really good. Later, peeps.